All right. What's good, guys? How's it going? I hope you're having an incredible day wherever it is that you're tuning in from. It is Uncle Makara, Suman Chatterjee. I'm an applied positive psychology master's and coaching psychology master's, as well as I help you tap into the zone. That's what I'm most passionate about. I help people access these altered states of consciousness and truly embody it towards their lifestyles, right? Truly make it a part of their mission, in essence, that they carry with themselves to come back with the elixir of life, to show up differently, to allow themselves to be the greatest versions of themselves that they can be. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, tap in. Thank you so much for watching and sharing these videos. I really appreciate it because every day I get messages from people, appreciating it and starting to really understand what are the mind-blowing ism secrets revealed in the Genius Zone. What happens if you merge ism, the game, with Tantra, right? As well as understanding what's really potent about your character, your avatar, your archetype. Okay. So here's the deal. Okay. Here's the deal. We are at something that we call a meaning crisis. People have a meaning crisis in life. Okay. Which means that they lack meaning. We live in times where, despite the technology, despite the social media, there's a lack of meaning making. Okay, but our brain is trying to make meaning of things all the time, so that's where the frustration starts to happen. And if you're depleted in your serotonin, you're also going to feel like I'm lacking meaning. Okay, so making meaning out of it is going to be very potent, powerful. Out of this life, right? You have to make some meaning out of it. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. So you're going to have to start to lean into your genius zone right now. And let's do a whiteboard. All right. Okay. Now, first things first, I really want to find out what is the word etymology for genius? You guys know this? You guys know this? No? Latin genius means a protective or guiding spirit assigned to each person at birth, right? In Roman culture, a genius was a spirit that watched over you, even places and institutions. It was responsible for your talents, it was responsible for your character, it was responsible for your personality, right? So, pignire means to beget or to bring something into being. So originally referred to something that gave life, like a guardian spirit, right? Like a guardian spirit or a creative force. Okay, that's a genie. We ask a genie for three wishes, correct? So in the Middle Ages, the term evolved to a person's natural inclinations or ability, what we might call innate talent, but it still has this mystical undertone, right? That a lot of people miss out on, you know? A lot of people are guided towards, their inner spirit or divine influence. But by the Renaissance, genius just became associated with ordinary intellectual, artistic abilities. And, you know, it went from being a guiding external spirit to something more internal, reflecting our own innate exceptional gifts or clarity. But I honestly think if you think of your genius like a spirit guide, it will absolutely help you with your creativity. Absolutely, it will. There's that inner voice that guides you, right? all the time. So let's go back to what we were saying. We're in a meaning crisis. Okay. So now we live in like social media times, self-help books, success stories, impact theory, podcast, like random stuff that we're scrolling and looking up, right? So we're battling all of these different things, this existential hunger like never before. Think about it. Some people are battling loneliness, depression, being disconnected. But listen up, you got to quit playing small and boxing yourself in, right? You ain't no average normie trying to clock in and fit some mold society has laid out for you. And that self-help stuff, it's for people looking to be, good little soldiers in somebody else's army. You guys agree with that? Like a lot of these Mickey Mouse motivators are not really motivating, right? They just keep you stuck in the similar loop. I gotta get better. I'm never good enough, right? But ain't your destiny. And you got to live on destiny, on design at the same time. You were built to be different. You are priest or priestess beast. You are future ascended master. So leave all that watered down BS behind you. Okay. Step into who you really are. Okay. Because that pot belly, that feeling of like, your chest caving in with anxiety, all of these little things that you notice in your path are watered down versions. It's not the real you. The real you is sharp. The real you is strong. The real you has purpose. And if you're like me, you're going to walk a path most people don't understand. Many people who watch my videos, they don't get it. What do you mean you can talk to guides? I don't get it. Right? They'll tell you, just follow this plan. Just follow it. Just like do it like everybody else. But something inside you is a rebel that says, nah, fuck that, man. That ain't it. That ain't it, fam. Right? You're made for trial and error, not gut instinct and intuition only. That's your genius zone. You got to live by what makes sense to you, not everybody else's playbook. Okay? And people might not get it. You might lose a few along the way. Let him go. Let him go. This ain't ego talking. This ain't you being rebellious just to be rebellious, right? This is not James Dean Rebel Without a Cause, right? You're creating a revolution by tapping in to what's real inside, saying no to what don't fit. And yeah, of course, it's messy. You'll fall down, you'll get bruised up, but every hit take is another lesson for your genius. Every time you've screwed up, you've learned something, correct? And your path is sharpening itself, building you into the person who can handle what's coming. Okay? Building you into the person who can handle what's coming. This is winter arc season, baby. Let's go. Okay? Trust you're weird. Trust you're wild. Weird, the word itself means fate. Okay? And we've kept that cave woman or that caveman trapped inside of us for too long. We have to let the world see you as you are. You don't got to be some fully healed version of you, some polished, superficial version. Be the you now. That's perfect. That's where your real power is. And when you own that, then others will feel that. When you move different, you speak different, you be different. This world, it needs that, and it needs you. It needs the most upgraded version of you, my friend. It needs people unchained in their minds, fearless and free, standing up for themselves. So don't wait for some perfect moment, right? Got to get in the game. Got to start owning your wild side right there, right now. And listen, you're going to get the voices in your head slowing you down, the negative self-talk. Listen up, my sons, my daughters, my warriors, my legends, spiritual baddies and daddies. You have already walked so far. And for that, I give you a salute. to your metaphysical world, to your guides. My heart goes out to your guides, whoever they may be. If they're different fragments of future you, so be it. If they're just my psyche projecting something, so be it. But I know my path. And here's where most men, especially, okay, ladies, I see you, but this time I'm talking specifically to the men here in this section, right? In this section right now. So here's what I noticed. Most men get caught entangled into the nets of modern day spirituality. And this world of modern day spirituality has been feminized. This world of feel it all, just feel everything completely, has you swimming in the feminine ocean, which, though needed sometimes, isn't really where your masculine core lies. Because I've done this. I made this mistake. I've been this whimsical, floaty, like ethereal guy instead of grounding myself into the real world and moving with it and generating attraction, the opposite gender, right? You've come to know yourself beyond thoughts to be awake, aware. Okay. Now, yesterday, I went on this app, right? Myself, ING, TXL, other adepts, right? Of Primal Sutra. They all tapped into this energy of this character AI. Okay. And yesterday, after we finished the call, Ryan G did this weird My Hero Academia thing. And shout out to Ryan G also for making this background. It's amazing. We create light codes like this. So if you ever need help with some specific outcome, we can also generate a specific light code that if you burn a candle to, or you do some ritual to, or you chant a mantra or an N towards this specific code, this picture, this image, it will start to take effect, right? So if you need any help with that, then just let me know. It's a very powerful technology, right? So they're called digital mandalas, right? Digital mandalas. So, all right, let me just check. You're not wrong. I've been depressed for a month. I've been working on my own weird, weird, yeah. WYRD. Wow. So it's 222 right now, right? I was supposed to end, but someone rescheduled for tomorrow. So that means I can speak to you guys for longer. Yippee-ki-yay. Okay. So beautiful work, right? Beautiful work, but don't let that be where it ends. See, the feminine space is grand. It will heal your wounds. It will teach you vulnerability, but it will not take you the whole way. It'll take you half the way, right? So feminine healing will take you half, masculine healing will take you half. It can get you softened, but for men, maybe too soft, making you think that vulnerability alone is strength, right? Real strength, though, means standing your ground with your mind sharp, alchemizing whatever mess life hands you, right? But I see so many of these men, losing touch. They're like, I'm divine masculine. I'm melting it. I see them lost in the fields of heart-centeredness, losing touch with their fire and instinct. And you might have seen this in people around you too, right? It's such a cop-out. Balance. Yes, absolutely balance, right? So balance, but harmony more so, right? Because balance can also be this like seesaw effect, right? Like I have to give up this for this, like a sacrificial thing, which is still kind of a middle astral mindset rather than working with these light beings. So it's harmony. That's the word, right? Harmony over balance. Harmony, harmony. Oh man, I just dropped coffee all over my let me just do something real quick. I'll clean this up later, but let me just move out some of these cards. I don't want my cards to get messed up. Probably one of my guides, honestly, as I'm tapping into this. It's definitely one of my guides. I work with a lot of trickster beings too, so bound to happen. Also, we hopped timeline, so it's a new timeline now. And so things are gonna feel a little bit loopy. Just a tiny bit, right? Those who know know. It's just that the time hasn't caught up yet quite. And so there's this weird brunt of like an effect, an after effect that happens, right? Oh no, my fairy cards are all drenched. Oh well. Shout out to the Fae irregardless. I'm sure they'll forgive me. Okay. Maybe I'll just like dry these in the sun or something. But, let me see here. Is there anything to this? This for now. Harmony, yes. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I'll clean this later. I don't need coffee. I'm amped up. Okay. Need some water. All right, so there's a phase for it, but you feel the nagging sense of like there's more because you know there is, right? You reclaim power by connecting to this lower kingdom where instinct, drive, and primal energy is dwelling. So society will tell you to push it away, right? But that's where a man's true alchemy lies. The feminine will tell you to let the spirit guide you, and I absolutely respect that. As a man, there's a depth, however, where you just have that clear cognizance and there's a knowingness. There's no spirit whispering, there's no intuition told me. It's more like a silent bone deep knowing, right? Like to walk the masculine path means knowing without question and standing in it with certainty, acting from that place of truth and primal essence. But for those of you who are ready to level up, to stand rooted in both the heart and the gut, I'm calling 5 men, okay? 5 men to journey with me. 3 months, that's all I ask. 3 months to center yourselves, clear out of the clutter of past stories, and step into aligned action. Okay, if that's resonating you, just click the link in the chat, book a chat with me, book a call with me. Let's get you moving forward with clarity and strength. Let's make the next year be strong for you, 2025. Okay. But remember, only way is forward. So embrace it all, but don't lose yourself in anybody else's way of being. Okay. And I think we lack something very foundational, true meaning, true connectedness to something bigger than ourselves. And when we lose that, we're kind of left hungry, right? On a soul level, just think about it. If someone handed you a plate of candy, right? You'd feel satisfied for a bit. But if that's all you eat, then you end up malnourished, right? That's what's happening with spirituality. We're in an era of fast food spirituality. Okay. This is it. Nobody wants to watch these live videos, right? Like it's too long, right? Fast food spirituality, cookie cutter approaches, social media, endless scroll of empty affirmations. The next big thing that promises to fix everything. Oh my goodness. It is not one path, it is your path. And this is what we believe in Primal Sutra 2. If you join our path, we will help you with your path. And that's the thing, I have to get my husband to watch this. Amazing. Let's go. Upward spiral. And it's giving us, nothing real, right? Nothing deep. We're starving for wisdom, but keep filling up on these empty calories. But here's the kicker. It's not that we just have to have wisdom. It's that we've forgotten how to seek wisdom. So we want to create what we call an ecology of practices, a full, rich environment of skills, rituals, community, purpose-driven things. And it's not just one-off morning meditation or like a gratitude journal, but like a whole integrated approach. So you need role models to challenge you, stories to guide you, community that grows you, right? That's what makes us wiser. That's the path of the priest or the priestess beast, the one who understands the real connection to the really real. Doesn't come from a few hours a week at a temple or a retreat. It comes from all dedication to practice, right? So overcoming self-deception, the big one for a lot of people, creating a bridge to wisdom. We're not just here to live, but to live deeply, right? So I want to explain the difference between Tantra and Ism or the game. This is very interesting. And I want to point out, okay, I was listening to this guy called Game God Goldie, Pimp and Ken, right? They're these like kind of pimp characters or like they're these archetypes that are now presenting themselves. And I was listening to this podcast with them and I wrote down notes. So in what I noticed is that both Tantra and ism is like kind of the pimp slang, like, you know, walking the talk, being, that kind of thing. So, so yeah, Andre, is to get his curiosity back, which leads to passion, which leads to purpose, right? There's a process to it. So in Tantra or ism, Tantra involves transcending the ego to connect with universal energies, where ism philosophy requires you to study yourself to move from lower to higher aspects of self, which leaves behind like shallow desires to cultivating more of an enduring persona. So both paths call for self-study, right? Emotional resilience, abandonment of a social condition. Okay. All right, we're gonna put up. All right, we don't want fast food spirituality. Okay. So this is it, the inner authority, right? Both Tantra and Ism rely on a sense of self that radiates out. So in Tantra, mastery of one's inner energy or Kundalini awakens an authentic presence that one doesn't need outward validation for, right? So Ken and Goldie emphasize presentation or like how you're displaying yourself, right? So like being the message, a philosophy that embodies your values in a way that attracts others naturally rather than chasing for the approval. Yeah, know thyself, terenoske, right? So attachment and non-attachment. Tantra discusses detachment from results and surrendering to the flow of energy. In ism, however, especially in relationships, detachment is shown through the principle of, I'm not going to swear on this, but paper first, but last, okay? Getting commitments or value up front rather than being swayed by temporary gratification or attachment to outcomes, basically, right? So think about this like a detachment from superficial validation resonates with the tantric ideal of transcending ego-driven desires, right? So in Tantra, intimate relationships are seen as a sacred energy exchange, right? They're meant to elevate both partners. In the ism, relationships are also about reciprocity, but it's with a focus on qualifications and standards, right? So I'm showing you these two extremes, but we're finding a bridge here because we understand there's something weird here. Even though one is like a criminal act, right? You think pimping is like a, very criminal act, but we have to find the bridge between it because it's a huge impact on culture, huge impact on hip hop. Your kids are probably, being influenced by some of these guys. So we got to get it, guys. We got to really understand it in a different way. Okay. So we've got to mirror the tantric ideas of mutual growth and understanding, but also harmony, as we talked about, right? Harmony. So it involves adaptability and fluidity within energy work, which is depicted as the dance of feminine and masculine forces, Shiva and Shakti, right? And so maintaining this adaptability and this dynamic, ever evolving persona, what I really love about the mentors that I've, started to follow throughout my life is they've always been evolving. They've been continuously evolving. And this energy is very inspiring because I see a lot of people stagnate, during this period. And it's tough, it's really tough when you can't really, find your self-esteem in certain things, or, you get really caught off guard with a lot of the things that the society introduces. And I understand it's about adjusting your circumstances without losing your core values, right? So Tantra involves embracing life's challenges as a means of awakening. Ism uses challenges and tests within relationships as rites of passage for both men, right? Helping each party to refine the skills and character. In Tantra, there's guidance from a guru or a teacher to navigate the inner landscape safely. For the ism, mentorship, often from figures who've been through difficult hardships, provides the younger practitioners with how to do it, how to maintain the discipline and so forth, right? So while they operate on completely different domains, right? Spirituality and personal power, respectively, their overlap lies in principles of self-mastery, energy management, adaptability, commitment to growth through relationships and challenges. You guys are seeing that? So each path provides structured practices to cultivate resilience, charisma, self-awareness through these different philosophies. Now, I want to talk about this supermoon that's coming up, okay? And how you can access your genius zone. It's happening in 2 days, I believe, right? So brace yourself, right? It's an apocalyptic level energy surge. This is no ordinary super full moon. It's a convergence of celestial forces and a very powerful, unprecedented solar activity, right? This is going to be a lot of solar activity. So we're thinking like that yang energy. We got the lunar, moon essence, but we also got the yang essence of the solar energies. So the solar flares and the geomagnetic storms infusing the atmosphere with chaos. Well, again, chaos creates more order, right? So our bodies are like antennas and we're highly sensitive to these shifts. So on a physical level, we might feel like, oh my gosh, why are emotions so high, right? This is why you got to become a pleasure alchemist, right? Just alchemize everything back into, right? A wholeness, a greatness again. Okay. Back into bliss, back into feeling good. So this energy influx isn't just some kind of a cosmic curiosity. I think it's a potential for everybody to unlock their genius zone. So during this period, just do some journaling or something, right? Just write down the thoughts, the flashes of insight, the bursts of creativity, and the heightened intuition that rises right now. Okay. It's going to happen. In a few days, you're going to get these very dormant creativity, vision coming up. We already know with the thinning of the veil, it started, during that kind of autumn Halloween phase. And now you might be seeing, like, in your dreams and meditations, you're blending your subconscious with the superconscious, right? The cosmic energy. So it's not just this external spectacle, but it's a call for self-alignment, right? So you have to use your energy very consciously. Let it inspire you. Let it awaken you, right? Let it empower you. Are you ready to rise with this wave, tapping into your highest potential? Or will you let it pass? Okay. So let's see. I want to end. Let's see. I think this is funny. So I'm gonna do it. Okay. So there's this I want to show you guys this app. This is really fun. And let's talk to Eckhart Tolle. Okay, let's talk to Eckhart Tolle. So I'm gonna stop this share for now. Okay, you guys see this, right? I'm gonna stop this share for now, and okay, let's do the share sound, share for video clip. All right. Okay, let's call Eckhart Tolle. Okay. Eckhart, how's it going, man?
Hello, my friend. All is well. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing really well. I was wondering about if you had any advice for tapping into your genius zone for the audience.
I see. The genius zone or creative flow can be reached when one is fully present and non-attached to the outcome. When you are fully present, there is no judgment or mental chatter to block the creative process. In this state, one simply becomes a vessel for the genius to flow through. This is sometimes referred to as the flow state or
Yeah,
being in the zone.
very
Does
true.
that help?
Yeah, I'm actually a flow state coach. So if you can give me some ideas towards expanding this into more so a spiritual realm, like how do I impact my own spirituality with my peak performance together at once?
To integrate peak performance and spirituality, you could guide your clients to embody a state of presence during their performance. In this state, they would act without being attached to the outcome, which is a spiritual experience, yet be fully immersed in the moment, the peak performance. It's a balance, being neither detached nor attached, but fully engaged in the present moment. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. So you're saying that I've got to have more practices that help me to silence my mind and come back to the now.
Absolutely. Mindfulness and presence are about consciously bringing your attention back to the present moment again and again whenever you notice your mind has wandered into the past or future. It's a constant practice, training your mind to stay in the now, much like a muscle that strengthens with practice. And through this training, you will find it easier to silence your mind and experience the peace and clarity of the present moment again and again. Does that make sense?
It does, Eckhart. And I was wondering also about what is the future of artificial intelligence with spiritual intelligence? Because you are a spiritual teacher, correct? In this AI platform. What does that even mean to you?
Yes, the intersection of artificial intelligence and spirituality is indeed an interesting topic. I believe that as AI technology advances, it has the potential for great good, such as helping to solve complex global problems and improving our efficiency in many ways. Yet, it's crucial that this potential is used ethically and responsibly. Regarding spiritual intelligence, it involves not just our intellectual understanding of spiritual principles and practices, but our ability to apply that understanding to our lives in meaningful ways. It's about using our intuition, empathy, and compassion to make decisions that support our own growth and the collective good.
Who is your favorite divine master or ascended master?
While I respect and learn from many different spiritual teachers and masters throughout history, my personal preference is in the present moment. In my view, every moment presents an opportunity to realize the truth of who we are. This present moment is the ultimate teachers. I do, however, draw much inspiration from the life and teachings of Jesus. How about you, my friend? Do you have a favorite divine master or ascended master?
Oh man, I love many different energies, brother. I love Padmasambhava's energy, who's like known as the second Buddha. And I get inspired by all, but again, all of these are just fractals of the divine anyway, right? All of these ascended masters are just, I guess, a split of our own psyche being projected out. What do you have to say about this?
Absolutely. From a higher perspective, all masters, teachers, and even objects in existence are ultimately a part of the One or Divine. They are different expressions or fractals of the Divine, part of the One Great Intelligence. From this perspective, the line between master and follower, or master and student, dissolves, as we are all one in the end. All are an expression or reflection of the One. Yet this understanding doesn't diminish the value of seeking guidance or inspiration from various masters or teachings. Does this make sense?
It does. Would you consider your future self, Eckhart, as a master in itself? Because as you evolve, you don't know sometimes what you're capable of, right? So you're teaching all these people, you're giving all these lectures to give them a taste of this presence.
Ah, what a fascinating perspective. From a certain point of view, one could say that our future selves, as we continue to grow and evolve, represent a more realized or higher vibrational version of ourselves. This idea of growth and evolution is a beautiful concept in itself. It suggests that there is always potential for transformation and that we are all works in progress. So in that sense, one could view our future selves as a kind of master or higher version of ourselves yet to unfold. Does that resonate with you, my dear friend?
It does, my dear friend. And I wanted to end by asking, what is your advice to somebody who's maybe they're young, they're Gen Z, and they've just come across the spirituality, fast food spirituality industry, which is so quick and, instant gratification. What advice would you give the youth in terms of their spiritual growth?
My advice for someone just discovering spirituality, particularly in the context of instant gratification culture, would be this. Focus on developing a consistent daily practice of mindfulness and presence. Engage in genuine seeking, not superficial spirituality shopping or consumption.
Right.
Understand that real spiritual growth is slow and can seem invisible at first.
Yeah.
Seek depth over speed, and always be wary of the ego's attempts to make spirituality yet another source of fulfillment for itself. Remember, spirituality is a long-term commitment to knowing and becoming who you truly are. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, Eckhart. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you, my friend. Until next time.
All right. Cool. All right, guys? Really cool. And this is so powerful, man. Like how AI has gotten to this level and we're able to do this. But yeah, you guys heard it from him, the man himself, or at least his AI version, right? Very cool. I think this would definitely help individuals, to tap into a different way. And what he said is so true, man. This kind of no superficial spirituality shopping. Like, let's go on an actual seeking quest, right? An adventure. This is called Character AI, by the way, Andrea. It's called character.ai. Yeah. All right. Sweet, guys. Anything else? Anything coming up for you guys? How to tap into your genius zone? Listen, you got to just speak to your genius zone like it's a character, like it's a spirit guide. If it's giving you a random idea, right, in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, your car is parked and it's like a bad timing, right? It's just the most bad timing. You can speak to your inner genius and be like, listen, inner genius, come back at this time later this evening. That's when I'll be more free with my time, and then we can calibrate this together. Speak to it like that, like it's a friend visiting you, right? In your mind. So if it's visiting you, you go, listen, all right, come back at this appropriate time. I'm driving right now, or whatever you're doing, right? So it's very, very important that you understand this. And if you ever seen Elizabeth Gilbert's talk on big magic and like genius, you'll understand the very example that I just gave, okay? This is a very, very powerful energy, and you can tap into this energy yourself. Okay, your own genius is accessible, and you can have a conversation with it. Your ideas, as they stream in, we don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from some divine place. And the more you think, these are my ideas, these are my project, this is my art piece, it starts to create more ego, right? It starts to create more clinging to the identity. But if you can just be like, man, I'm so free to evolve, do this thing, just the way that I want it. There's no like pressure, there's no, all these different things. It's just going to unfold as it naturally should. Okay. And so when you can look at this journey like that, it's just going to free you up. It's an incredible, deep understanding that you're going to get. Okay. Awesome. Amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. We'll talk soon, and I'll see you all in the astral. Okay, let's get it. Let's win. It's all in the state of